Yo, 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 what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone Messiah, Phillip and Brandon, joined by the Canadian destroyer BT Brandon Tanguma. We are here to talk about Clash in Paris. But before that happened, Brandon, where were you Saturday night?
Saturday, I was behind the Melon and Mafia merch table at Big Toko's Kickback. Uh, 4.
For, what thoughts on the kickback?
It was a fun show. Second time in the Cornerstone. It's a little music venue within a restaurant. It's a different little place, but it's a good spot for wrestling. It was a fun time. I know there might have been some technical difficulties behind the scenes, but you guys were still able to put together a very solid, enjoyable indie show.
Thoughts on the Melon Mafia match?
Well, that Sancho Demira guy, he once again went through a table again. That guy just can't catch a break, unfortunately.
I know the dude was seizing on the ground. It's crazy.
But yeah, last time I went there, there was literal light tube being smashed everywhere. There was glass all over the floor. It did not happen this time, luckily. But it was a kids show. There were children in the crowd. But yeah, shout out to the Melina Mafia. Made from what I heard, made a decent little amount of money at the merch stand.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Melon Mafia, they doing some things around here. Yeah, now Big Toko's Kickback 4. Shout out to the fourth installment. Next year, Big Toko's Kickback 5. That's the Dirty 30, which by the way, today, the 1st of September. Happy birthday to Big Toko, Juicy for now, man. Come on now. You already know what it is. Happy birthday to my guy, man. Ofa Atu Toko. I love you, man, on everything. You know what it is. Now, let's talk about Clash in Paris. Things happen on this show.
Yes, it did. Largest Paris show, I guess, ever. Bigger than a Taylor Swift concert, is what they're telling us. 30,000 people, which is bigger than the standard American arena.
No, didn't Taylor Swift, is she engaged? That's what I hear.
Yeah, shout out to Kelsey, the Kelsey guy.
Yeah. That's crazy. But back to this. What part of France? They weren't in Lyon, but where were they?
They were in Paris. What arena were they in? The They were in Nanterre, France, at the Paris La Défense Arena. I definitely
I'm just
fucking
gonna call
nailed
it the
that one.
French. I'm just gonna call it the French Alps. They were in the
Yep.
French Alps. Yeah.
We're not cultured. We're just dirty Americans who don't know anything about France.
Oh wait, hey, oh, speak for yourself, brother.
Sorry, I forgot he's Canadian. So when you're Canadian, you're basically French. It's the same
Oh
thing.
no, enchanté, oui. But back to the show.
Yeah. So started off. If you ain't first, you're last. Roman Reigns. He was the opening contest here with Bronson Reed. 22 minutes and 5 seconds, which will be a constant here on this show with a lot of 20 plus minute matches. And Roman gets the win. We'll talk about the after effects afterwards, but Philip's thoughts on the straight up match itself.
Good work. The tribal chief beat the tribal thief. Got the shoes back, choked out Paul Heyman afterwards. It was nice, bro. Like this, Roman has talked about in recent years, giving the title run and everything. That there's main event speed, and then there are people that kind of question, like, oh man, well that's kind of too slow. Well, no, in this game, man, if if you're moving too fast, go slow, and if you're going slow, go slower. And Bronson Reed, he held his own in the main event speed, even though this was the first contest on the card. I thought they did good business together.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it in the on the regular Bullet cast about how I thought Bronson Reed's been doing very good work, and that might have been one of the best promos he's ever cut on Raw last week. And I thought the match was very good. I mean, it was pretty straightforward. Bronson getting a lot of the work in early. You can kind of tell that they were building it for the culmination at the end with Roman. But crowd was a little dead at the beginning, but once Roman made his comeback, they were on fire and were one of the many times. What I think was the theme of the show. Everyone's going to talk about the crowd from compared to last year, but they were kind of quiet at points, but when they were up and they were invested in a moment, they were definitely invested, and they were into Roman. Huge pop at the beginning when he made his entrance, then huge pop when he ended up making the comeback and getting the win.
Absolutely, you love to see it. The aftermath, though.
Yep, as you would expect, Roman gets his shoes back, as you said, and he's a great baby face. He signs the shoes and threw them into the crowd, which is probably worth a lot of money. Hopefully, no one got injured going after those shoes, because I'm pretty sure there's fights going on. And then Braun Breaker comes out of nowhere, spears him through the announce table, and with an extended beating. I mean, this whole segment, entrances, match. aftermath damn near took up the entire first hour. Um, so Braun, beats him down, tsunamis on Roman from Bronson Reed. Finally, Jey Uso makes the save. Kind of. He gets beaten down as well, so that leads into him in the main event. So, it writes off Roman for him to go film the Street Fighter. Probably won't be back until around Survivor Series. And it also gives him for him to climb the Vision ladder. He took down Bronson Reed. Now he's got to take down Braun Breaker, and eventually he'll take on Seth Rollins whenever that
He
match
may
will
have to take
happen.
on another member of the Vision.
You never know.
Come on now. Come
Uh,
on
but,
now.
but yeah, I mean, it was pretty straightforward stuff. It was, after beating Bronson, you would suspect him to go on to Braun Breaker next. So it was not, insane to think that that would actually happen. Philip, any thoughts on the actual angle itself, even though it's pretty straightforward?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. Roman written off TV. I mean, you don't have to go over to get over. You don't have to. Even in defeat, you can still look strong, as which is what happened to these gentlemen. And then, of course, they're evicted from the building and whatnot, which leads into what we saw later on in the night.
Yeah, I mean, when you saw the angle or the backstage segment afterwards where he kicks everybody out and Paul's in the hospital, it basically was a red alert of like something's going to happen. Someone new is going to debut for this group since they were gone. Then we had a late match being added from SmackDown. We weren't able to talk about it, but tag title match on SmackDown. The Wyatt Six defending against the Street Profits, Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis, representing the Wyatts. And they end up getting the win in 13-10. They did tell a little bit of the dissension story between the Street Profits here with Uncle Howdy trying to get into their ear on SmackDown. And they played into it at the very beginning with Montez Ford tagging in before the match started, and then a little bit, I think, towards the end. But it wasn't like it was the finish or any means. We're not getting a full blown Street Profits breakup quite yet, but it does seem it might be coming sooner rather than later.
Oh man, I don't. Uh, Maybe they don't have to like.
I mean, they've been teasing this for like they were teasing this like in NXT. I think they've been teasing this forever, and they just never did. They never broke up.
I don't think they teasing NXT. I think they've been teasing for at least like the last year and a half. Uh,
Definitely on the main roster. They've teased him multiple times. They just
yeah,
never pulled
yeah.
the trigger.
Maybe they don't have. I don't want to see somebody turn on each other. Maybe they just like, hey, you know what, bro? I think we should go our separate ways for right now. Like, just have an amicable split. I think that's fine. We don't always have to turn on each other.
And I mean, no disrespect to the Street Profits. I don't think anyone's clamoring for them to break up. And usually, like, yeah, they're not brothers, but
But
the
no,
cat.
when they first started teasing this, yeah, people were. But now,
Yeah, I mean the tag team singles matches usually don't work. I mean obviously people point to Brett and Owen, but that was kind of a different scenario. That's the outlier compared the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, all these other tag teams that have tried to do these feuds. Usually they don't pay off well, and I don't think that would be the case here with the Street Profits. But yeah, end of the day, the babe, I guess they're still baby faces. I don't know. Wyatt Six interfere,
are they
and
baby faces?
I don't know. It's hard. But yeah, the Wyatt Six get involved and end up getting the win here. So crowd was kind of dead for majority of this match. I mean, they kind of got up for some of the big spots, like Montez doing his little jump over the corner turnbuckles. But besides that, crowd was just kind of there for it. Anyways, then we got the Women's Intercontinental Championship with Becky Lynch defending against Nikki Bella. This one went 13 minutes and 7 seconds. Like I said in the preview, probably gonna be a little sloppy, and it definitely was. There was the infamous spot of Nikki going for her little kick from the corner, and Becky was not in position, and she thought about selling it for a half a second, and then realized, yeah, there's no way I can do that. And it was honestly probably the low light of the match of the night. Match, crowd didn't really care too much. They were booing Nikki, cheering Becky. It was all out of whack. It was
France is fickle.
Francis Fickle, but
No.
like
But I mean, like,
we talked about Becky. People love Becky. Nikki, I think the wrestling fans don't really like her all too well, or don't love her as much as they love Becky.
I mean, like, what the whole like missing the kick? Like, yeah, like that happens. I mean, wait a second, or if you if I don't know. Like it's just a miscommunication that happens, bro.
Yeah, it's one thing if it's like a glancing blow or like they're a little bit. They was not even close. And that's also a thing of like Nikki didn't even look back once. She just climbed the turnbuckle, turned around and do her kick. She didn't even like
Well, no,
glance to see if Becky was in the right spot.
I get like expect she expected like somebody of Becky's caliber to be there for the spot. I understand that, but then also do look back just to make sure like we're good. Yeah, yeah.
Probably a low point of the show here. But I will say that it did
How
pick
long
up.
was this one?
This one 13 and 7 seconds, which was
Okay.
just barely less than the tag match. Then we move on to the good old fashioned Donnybrook match. This one went 20 minutes and 8 seconds. I thought the crowd was a little bit dead for this, as you would kind of expect. These are two mid carders, guys that aren't really pushed, even though they do have a story involved with it, but it's not really a hot feud.
How dare they? Sheamus is a multiple time world champion.
Exactly. Show some respect on Sheamus'
Rusev
name.
used to be he was the Redeemer, and
Uh,
he won this match.
he did. He submitted Sheamus, which they put over
Look at
strong that
Shillelagh
this was the second tap out submission ever onto Sheamus.
in
And
16 years.
yeah, what you would expect. There was gimmicks all over the place. There was whiskey barrels. There was a bar.
There's Cracker
Everything was
Barrels.
used. We get a white noise off the whiskey barrels through the Slim Jim tables. I thought this match was pretty good. Like I said, the crowd was a little silent towards the beginning, but I thought they kind of worked the crowd up and they got good reaction. Sheamus always is going to be selling these, hard hitting matches because he's, his white, pale skin. There's just cuts and redness and scrapes all over him. He always just looks like he's in a fight when he's in these types of matches. So I thought it was some good stuff, and it definitely, the opening match with Roman and Bronson I thought was good. The following two matches were a little bit of a letdown, but these final three matches I thought really picked the show up.
And then
And then regular, straight up singles match, no title on the line, no gimmick involved. Logan Paul taking on John Cena. This one goes 26 minutes, 20 seconds. Now, the crowd was definitely into this one. They were chanting for Cena. They were singing his song. They were just milking the moment at the very beginning of the match. And they went for it. Cena and Logan Paul. We kind of speculated that Logan Paul would be John Cena's final match, and if this was John Cena's final match, that would have been a perfect way to end it. But Cena still got some juice left in him. He's gonna have a couple more months, and John Cena ends up getting the win by pinning Logan Paul with the attitude adjustment. No Brock Lesnar, no chicanery, just a straight up match. Philip loves talking about that. Singles match with him and AJ Styles in the SummerSlam where they basically did not leave the ring. I think they might have left the ring a little bit at the
oh no,
beginning, but
That was Royal
Royal
Rumble
Rumble.
2017.
But yeah, for the most part, Cena and Logan Paul were just in there wrestling.
Brother.
I made the joke that they were kind of trying to scam the 2K star ratings by pulling out moves they never did before, so they're trying to get the extra half a star from their move variety.
Bro. I mean, Angels Wings, Styles clashes, Code Reds, pop-up uppercuts. Brother. They went for it here. Big match. If every he has 8 dates left, which is crazy. It's crazy to say that. It's crazy to say that. Hopefully we get like a Labor Day miracle and we get a couple more. Just throw like 2 or 3 more back on the calendar. But man, if every match is like this, John, I want to see you go, brother. I mean, we don't want to see you go, but damn, this was fire, bro. This was absolute fire. The fist. I mean, just the finish, the boom, and then the hook. It was good, just excellent work.
Yeah, fantastic match. I'd say best match of the show. And I mean, Cena brought it. I don't know how much you can put on Cena, how much you put on Logan Paul. It was a joint effort. They both were very good in this match. And it is nice to see that Cena has picked it up from the heel run where, the matches themselves were not great, but now these turned. The match with Cody was great. This match with Logan was great. The Brock one is going to be more of a spectacle, and they're
He
not going to pull out, I don't think Brock Lesnar's taking a Styles clash from John Cena.
he didn't show up.
He did not show up despite I want to call him Magnus. Nick Aldis warned him about Brock Lesnar, but yeah, no Brock
Dude.
Lesnar to be seen. I don't know if that was, a last minute call because I think if you
So
fly Brock Lesnar out to France, you're going to use him.
well, you remember he was about to find out what was going to happen, but then Logan Paul knocked him out. So I mean, we don't know. We don't know. I heard somebody refer to Nick Aldis as British Adam Pearce, and I was like, oh my god, Jesus, don't do that. Speaking of Nick Aldis, All In, September 1st, 2018, lost the NWA title to Cody Rhodes. There's your This Day in Wrestling. There you go. Boom.
Bam.
There the main event.
Main event.
Fatal four-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Main event, Jey Uso, the megastar LA Knight, the Second City Saint, CM Punk, and the visionary Seth freaking Rollins. Yeah. Jey Uso, went out to help his cousin earlier on in the night and paid the price, man. Them ribs and that abdomen was messed up from them spears.
Yeah, it was a good match. They I think they told a good story well of kind of not having Seth feel sympathetic by being the lone heel out of the three baby faces. Um, LA Knight just casually thrown in like a burning hammer during the match while they were like training a bunch of different moves. Like that was kind of crazy that he just threw that out there and then nothing, didn't even really sell it or not sell in terms of like, not getting hurt, but you know what I mean? Just like they didn't make it a point of what LA Knight just did. But yeah, I thought it was a fun stuff. And then obviously the finish, which we'll talk about. But the gave a little bit of an out for Jay and LA Knight, is gonna he's low man on the totem pole out of the four of them, so not shocking that he didn't really have like a write off on why he lost. But yeah, it was
Bro,
solid
he did
stuff.
have a write-off. He crashed through that announce table.
And he shouted him. He didn't come up short. He didn't pull a McFoley. He landed it as cleanly as LA Knight can.
Bro, I was like, oh my God. A horrible bump. Yeah. We get to it. Jay speared Rollins and we almost had it. The Punk gets in there, hits him with a GTS, falls to his knees. Rollins falls onto Punk's shoulders, reminiscent of the January 6th match from the Raw on Netflix debut. He has him. He's yelling, "Go to sleep!" A masked or a hooded figure, very bloodline esque, comes in there, blows Rollins, and I'm like, okay. I'm, and it's revealed to be Becky Lynch and curb stomp on the chair. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins is still the world heavyweight champion. Immediately when I saw this, I'm like, okay, McMahon Helmsley regime. He kind of has his version of evolution with the vision, and then now this. Like how Shawn Michaels is doing a nod to things in his career down at NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say this is semblant of or resemblant of Triple H? The vision is evolution. Him and Becky, power couple, McMahon Helmsley.
I mean, once Becky came out, you kind of had that thought of like, all right, they're gonna be a power couple. They're gonna, the Vision is pretty much the top thing on Raw for the most part, and so is Becky. I mean, she's probably two or three in terms of every week being a focal point. So it's not shocking that they put them together. They've been hinting or being more, at least Becky has more outward on them being together. So it wasn't exactly shocking that Becky, as I said, with everyone in the Vision out of the picture, it did set up for somebody to show up, whether that was, a call up or Becky.
But
Because
yeah,
WWE loves to do these surprises to end the show.
McMahon Helmsley regime. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But, there, as much as the year 2000 was financially a, very good time for the WWF, I think people also kind of look back at the McMahon Helmsley regime as like, all right, maybe, you know, taking a little bit of the air out the balloon a little bit with them
They
being on
were.
television so much.
Well, yeah, they were heels, and you weren't supposed to like seeing them.
Well, it was more the fact that they're all over the place, like they were on the show all the time.
Yeah, that's how it was back then.
Well,
Nobody was complaining when Austin was all over the place.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens with this team.
Overall grade for Clash of the Ring.
Paul, I thought it was a very good show. Like I said, I thought
Oh
the sec.
wait, hold on. We didn't even talk about this. The CM Punk is leaving the ring on the post show. Big E mentions, basically alludes to AJ Lee. CM Punk is pointing at an AJ Lee sign. Brandon, I
Don't
know,
give me this. Don't give me this hopium, Philip.
I know, I know. If that ever happens, you will pop like nobody's business. But it's probably gonna be Nikki and Punk versus Seth.
I will do not very nice things to myself if that would be the case.
Or Nikki gets hurt. Punk is going at it alone, and then all of a sudden, let's light it up. Oh my god!
Yeah, that was the other thing is the McMahon Helmsley regime came to mind, and then obviously with Punk, it's everybody wants AJ to come back. Not everyone, only Sith deals in absolutes, but a lot of people want AJ to make her return. You have the couple in Seth and Becky. You would assume they would, if Punk is going to go after Seth, he would only, it's going to be couple versus couple, and AJ would come out. She's been very, not vocal, but she's been pretty adamant that she has no real desires because she's doing her own thing in Hollywood and other stuff in media. But just another reason for people to be geeking off that hopium, and I'm one of them.
Geeking, I'm geeking. What do you overall grade, man? What you give it?
Overall grade, I'm gonna give it A-. I thought the last three matches were really good. Maybe the Roman Reigns stuff at the very beginning was a little self-indulgent in terms of it kind of taking way too long. It was the
Aura,
entire first
brother.
hour.
Aura.
But yeah, I thought the last three matches definitely kind of put it over the top. And we had a 4 hour non-mega pay-per-view from WWE, which is a little shocking, but
Yes, this was
it's
the last PLE for the main roster on Peacock. Moving on, September 20th, we are full force Indianapolis. I heard they have great shrimp. I hear they have phenomenal shrimp cocktail. Russellpalooza, ESPN. That is what's next on the docket. I'll give it an A- as well for Clash and Perry. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back later on this week. We're going to talk about Raw. We're going to talk about SmackDown. We're going to talk about everything else in between. Y'all already know what it is. Be safe and stay dangerous. Yeah, there.